My name is Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt, and I am the best bare knuckle fighter in the world. You are watching the baddest BKFC show in history with Brian Soscia. Tune in for more great content.
Friday, February 16th, the world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, presents the BKFC Prospect Series. In the main event, BKFC vet Stanislav Groshu knuckles up with a warrior fiending for his next knockout, Brandon the Shredder Shavers. Plus, many more explosive bare knuckle fights. Be a part of the excitement. Don't miss history unfold. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.
We are all the way live from Satellite 5. Always enjoy being here. And, you know, Satellite 5 based in the Philly area. So the Apollo Creed, the Carl Weathers announcement of his untimely passing, his death, we were sad about that. I mean, because we say it all the time, Stallone will say it in Philly. We don't see Sylvester Stallone as Sylvester Stallone. He's Rocky. Carl Weathers is Apollo Creed to us. So you might have noticed how we had the two dates when he passed away. One was from the movie and one was from real life. But Apollo's Apollo to us. R.I.P. So many great movies, but he was Apollo Creed. He always will be. And we're going to miss him. What a great character. Without him, there would have been no Rocky. So we thought we had to spotlight that a little bit, and we appreciate what he gave to the film industry. Now, what we're giving to the fighting industry, I mean, you see it. 2 sold-out events already this year. It was gigantic in Hollywood, Florida for BKFC 57, which leads me to my next thing. We have a lot coming up, as always. I say that every week, but it's so true. We're jam-packed. Chris Lights Out Lidle, as always, our buddy's going to check, and I know you guys enjoy him. So he'll be here with the Lidle Look Back this past Friday's BKFC. Of course, he does the BKFC tryout show as well, so we'll talk to him about that a little bit and some other stuff too. Also, Ryan Reber, the Royal One himself, Royal Ryan Reber. He's going to join us after his hard-fought battle this past Friday. We're going to talk to him about how he's on the upswing, a young fighter, part of our youth movement here at Bare Knuckle Fighting. And the Bare Knuckle Show cam was rolling. We have some exclusive behind-the-scenes footage from BKFC 57. You're going to see that, and we'll check out some of the stars, talk about some of the stars that were in attendance as well. So much to get to today, like I told you, but the thing we have to keep doing is, you know, he re-earned his nickname. He was Broke It Brandon. Then he became successful in the new year. Successful, Brandon. He was doing great until next week when he became disrespectful by interrupting Chris Lidle's time on the show, hitting the wrong sound effect. So we're going to give him a chance, disrespectful Brandon, to become successful again. Let's check in with him, see where we're at. Did we have any major mess-ups, Brandon or Evan, at BKFC 57 that I didn't see where we'd have to hold him accountable, Evan?
He actually already messed something up. I'm switching your mic over to the right compression. But that's neither here nor there. Try talking now.
He's on the warning track.
That sounds much better.
All right, thank you.
No, you know what? I know he gets a lot of flack, but Brandon does a pretty good job when the bullets are flying.
He does.
And I don't give him a lot of compliments.
You don't.
I don't believe in the.
You really don't.
I don't believe in that.
Okay.
I believe in critiques only. But he does a good job.
That's very nice of you. I agree. He's very helpful with the show, too. But that doesn't stop the fact, Evan, unfortunately, he's disrespectful. And he will be disrespectful, Brandon, until he can get 2 weeks of success under his belt. What do you think? Is that good for you? He's like, I just don't want to be bothered. He's like, leave me alone.
Soscia, you're amazing. This is the best show ever.
It is. It's great. Thank you. Okay. Successful Brandon's
That give me any points?
Give Evan a compliment, please. We're handing out compliments.
Shout out to the BKFC Reddit guy. I met him last week. Great dude.
Oh yeah, that's good. What about Evan? Give Evan a compliment.
And Evan,
great
supervisor, boss, mentor.
Oh, dude,
taught me a lot of things about how to.
All right, that's enough. You're boring me.
Blah, blah.
Listen, in the chat, you just gave Gator Wrestler a comment. He says we should call you cowardly, Brandon. That's what so that's his comment back to you. Anyway,
we met him.
Yeah, he's super cool.
We got a picture together.
We met, we got one too. I saw Gator Wrestler. I met him in Denver a while ago. He brought an alligator with him. I was scared shitless. But he's a cool guy. We love the gator gear. And speaking of the gator gear that he sends in the jelly, by the way, Evan, he tells me you told him to send no more peanut butter brickle. How dare you? That was amazing.
Well, I told him I was trying to watch what I'm eating.
I'm not. Send it in. And look, matter of fact, Evan's been sending stuff in. This is Evan's new product. If you want any, he's selling them. It's from his huge hens, Evan's Eggs. He's brought them in for everyone. We'll display them. Evan, do you like your farm fresh eggs better?
I do love them.
Yeah, they are good.
But here's what sucks. I didn't want them at all. I didn't want anything to do with them. And now that Kate's pregnant, I can't.
Wait, did we know that on the show yet? I haven't brought that up.
I don't know.
That's right. We have to make that announcement. Major news. I didn't know you were going to talk about that. First child on the way for one Evan Zentar. Congratulations for him. And now that his wonderful, beautiful wife's pregnant, you're eating better eggs. That's breaking news.
Well, no, the problem is I don't have anything to do with them, and now I have to scoop the cat shit, and I have to clean. I have to bring the chicken food out because she's pregnant and can't be around it. Now I have to do all the shit I didn't even want in the first place.
God bless you, Evan. God bless you helping your pregnant wife do everything. That's, I mean, you're a
Real
martyr.
sweet guy.
You're a sweet guy. All right, Evan's eggs are here. You know, if you want Evan's eggs, maybe he can get you some.
Hold up a single egg for the cat. Look at that.
They're massive.
Yeah.
Watch,
I got big eggs.
They were trying to get me to eat one. Maybe another day, not today. All right. Evan, thank you for the eggs. Brandon, thank you for being disrespectful and working on being successful. First thing I want to show, because we'd like to check in with your messages. Oh, I didn't know we had that. Let's zoom that in. That's Evan with his hens.
That's one got out in the morning. And I was in my pajamas, so I'm in my robe, and I'm in my...
What kind of pajama pants are
It's
they?
a Fortnite pajama pants. And then I threw a jacket on.
Oh, that's
that
great.
one escaped.
That's great.
But mail call.
It's time for mail call.
Dude, that was a great picture. Thank you for sharing that with us. It is time for mail call. Speaking of great pictures, we got another one. I don't know if this person's wearing Fortnite PJs, but Adrian sent this in. It's a picture of his kid. Sent this on social. Look at that with the bare knuckle gear. My bare knuckle sidekick and her best, that's me, Social Network voice. Bare knuckle. She didn't do it. It would hurt her voice. It'd be scary, but I appreciate you following the product and showing it to your kids and sending that in. We really do. Another one that got sent in, this guy was security at the Hard Rock event, and this proves that everybody loves us because I don't think he'd ever seen us fight before. He became a fan being security. He watches the Bare Knuckle show. He was very complimentary of the entire staff. There he is, man. He wanted to take a picture, so he did. Like this guy that kept us safe, and if you're watching, we appreciate you, and thank you for being a fan. Also, another great thing that got sent in, this is from Ryan Perez. I wanted to get this last week. But if you've been wondering what Kid Gotti, Jared Grant's been up to, apparently he's dance battling homeless people. We have video of it. All right, look at him go there. I'm going to talk because I don't know if we can play the music. But Jared Grant's got some dance moves. So does the homeless guy. Jared Grant really, I mean, look at him. There he is. And I think if you look at the end here, you know, Jared was out in the streets one time too, so he knows how it is. So he's having fun with this guy. He gave him a couple bucks. Is that something that either one of you guys do? You know, when you're walking down the street, and a homeless person hits you up for money. Do you usually donate to them?
Well, you know how we feel about the homeless.
I avoid all that now.
We hate them.
Oh yeah, because they steal. All they do is steal from. They steal from you,
They
bro.
steal hard drives they can't even use.
They sell them.
No more
No more
change
donations
from us. No.
I will say when we were in Virginia somewhere, I forget where it was. I think it was Virginia. The homeless guy hit me up with a cash. I was like, I don't have any money. He's like, I got Cash App. And I'm like, what? A homeless guy with Cash App?
I've had that before,
That's
too.
crazy.
With the dudes who try to give you their mixtape.
Yeah. And
And I'm like, look, I ain't buying your fucking thing.
And like it's free,
Well,
then they-
the first I try to be nice. I'm like, I don't have cash. And they go, oh, no, give us your, so we have a card reader. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to give some random dude my credit card.
Yeah, no way. That's out of your mind if you do that. So there you go. He's donate the equipment, Matt says in the chat. Yes, we have done that. We have done that. We don't want to do it again. Let's see what else we have. A lot of mail coming in today. Oh, this is from Gator Wrestler. We were talking about it earlier. That's the guy from the Reddit BKFC on Instagram. He sent this video in, and I saw a picture, but I haven't seen the video yet, and he has something he wants to show us.
Brian Soscia, what's up, man? It's Gator. I just got back from Miami. I'm up here in Wisconsin, and I'm going to watch TV, and you are on Hulu. You're on FX. I have no idea. I didn't realize that you did TV. You're kind of a big deal. You're starring in some TV show called Dave. So congratulations. I had no idea that was you. Alter ego. Your doppelganger. I found him. Check it out.
Now, I've never, ever heard of that. I mean, I might have heard of the TV show name, but I didn't know anything about it until I just saw that. That dude.
That's Lil Dicky.
He's like a rapper or something, right? Like a spoof. He's a spoof rapper, like a joke, right? I think.
I don't know. I don't really listen to stuff. I just know that that's Little Dicky.
Well, it's uncanny. Even me, I thought that when he sent me that, I saw the still photo of it. I thought our Vaughn Design Graphics team who does the great work back here, I thought that he like somehow put my face on something, but I realized, no, that's the real guy. That must be this Little Dicky guy on Dave. Gator, thank you for sending that in because I'll tell you, if that's me, I'm not seeing the checks for it. I'm waiting for him, but I mean, that's pretty. Do you have any doppelgangers, either one of you guys? I mean, I didn't even know I had that guy. Anyone say you look like anybody?
I'm one of a kind.
You sure are, the Lord. Brandon, you look like broken Brandon. You look like successful Brandon. You're disrespectful. Let's move on. All right, so that I got nothing for you. That was interesting because it really, that's my doppelganger. That was insane. Thank you for sending that in, Gator. Appreciate that. And this is from Danny McBride from a band called Contents of a Dead Man's Pocket. He's a big metal guy. Apparently, this is Alex the Terrible from another pretty big metal band called Slaughter to Prevail. And he says he wants to join Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Let's see what he's got. I saw this on Instagram. It was sent in. All right, there you go, man. Alex the Terrible from, was it Slaughter to Failure to Prevail? I'm sorry. Alex Terrible from Failure to Prevail, if I can speak. I have heard of the band. I know they're pretty heavy. They're good stuff. Good following. That's someone Nate Shook should look at. It might get some more eyeballs from another area on what we do. So let us know if you want to see Alex the Terrible. I mean, that's the way. Let your voice be heard. If you want to see him join Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, we'd like to check out what he has, maybe. I'm speaking for Nate. I don't know what Nate's going to do. Pretty cool, though. Another thing I wanted to get into, and this might have slipped past a lot of people at BKFC 57. I noticed it. I brought it up in the press conference, too, to Austin Trout. This Ring Walk, the song he came out to was the diss track from back in the day with NWA and Ice Cube. It was called No Vaseline. If you've never heard it, look up No Vaseline. I mean, it's probably the best diss track you're ever going to hear. I think top of the charts. But he came out to No Vaseline. Obviously, that was a look back to what had happened last fight. Diego Sanchez said he was putting Vaseline on. Thought it was very creative. Austin Trout, he said it was going to be that or the Pokemon theme or something. I'm glad he chose No Vaseline. I don't know who else noticed that, but I thought it was really cool. It's the little details like that I think are awesome. Something else from BKFC 57 I wanted to kind of revisit before we talk to Chris Lidle. Fight of the night, man. Louis Lopez. We had both these guys on the show, and Brian Duran. These two, they didn't like each other. There was a problem there. Brian had said it on the show, but look at this. This is what seems to happen after they get the respect and they fight. You know, and you can see the next one, too. They're hugging, they're friends. Everything's cool with those two. It's been put to rest, and what a fight that was. I was so happy to watch that fight and just enjoy it as a fan. So thank you guys for that fight. They got the Fight of the Night bonus. We're going to talk a little bit to Chris Lidle about that here in a couple minutes. Also, after it was all said and done, after the show, there was a big party. That's usually what happens at Hollywood Hard Rock. A club called Dare, and this was sent in. Fat Joe was there. You know him. What's Love Got to Do? I think he does that. I think he does Lean Back. He was there, and BKFC was there in full effect. I mean, everybody seemed to be there, and look who made it on stage.
The champ is in the building. He got 2 belts on. Here we go. God damn, the champ is in the building. He's the real deal. He letting you know ain't nobody fucking with him. The champ is in the fucking building.
Lorenzo always finding ways. There they got all the smoke going. Watch, he's awesome. Fat Joe loves the champ. All he does is win, win, win. There he goes, Lorenzo, the Juggernaut Hunt, having a great time up there on stage at the after party. And like I said, everybody was there. It was awesome. It was a scene.
You were there.
And was I there? Who, me? How do you know if I was there?
Because you told me.
Oh, did I? I don't. I don't typically go out. I go right to my room afterwards. I did stop by. Everyone was like, "Wow, we're not used to." Redneck Mundell was there. He's like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I wanted to check out the scene, man. I want to get some film for the podcast." So there you go. That was big. And another big announcement today. Well, I'm going to let him make the announcement, or let the video make the announcement. If you haven't heard yet, this guy's been talking about this forever, and now it has come to fruition. It has to do with the new #1 pound-for-pound ranked fighter. Let's watch this video that was sent in by him.
Would you look at that? #1 pound for pound. Oh my God. Daddy. Guess what?
What's up, baby?
BKFC finally got it right.
What you talking about?
#1, pound for pound.
I've been told you, they ass is late. I told y'all I was the best in the world when I came to this company. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I am the best bare knuckle fighter in the world. I told you I would be the heavyweight champ. And I will retire Mick Terrell. I'll be the first ever 3C champ in history, because I know how to get shit done. Speaking of getting shit done, shout out to my sponsors that get shit done. Thank you for this amazing coffee. I just love it. Damn, you look good today. Let's get it done.
Oh, man.
Get it done.
Whoa, let's get, I don't know what he's getting done. He said, damn, you look good today. Whoever was filming that, he said, drank that, let's get it done. I love how he worked his sponsor, but yeah.
I love that coffee if they want to sponsor the BKFC show.
I know, that's Eddie Alvarez's people, right?
They're good guys. They sent me a case of it.
You were saying it was really good.
It's great.
All right, well, then we'll look into that.
I was drinking way too much.
You know, I could use some more energy, right, Evan?
Yeah.
Probably.
That's the last thing. You need a fucking horse tranquilizer.
But yeah, so that's it. The big announcement, he made the official proclamation. The new #1 pound for pound bare knuckle fighter in the entire world is Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt. He's been saying it for a year. He is right, though. Everything he's been saying is becoming to fruition. He's kind of somewhat of a bare knuckle prophet. Now he's saying he's going to win the heavyweight title. So that remains to be seen. But the Juggernaut's saying it, so I'm listening, and we appreciate you sending that in, Juggernaut. You are the best trampoline jumper in the world, somebody just said. We agree. You were barely out of breath doing that. Good for you. Let's see what else we have to get to. I know we have Chris Lidle here in a couple minutes. Is he happen to be in the virtual green room yet?
Not yet.
All right, maybe I sent him the wrong thing. Let's double check, because he's usually on time. So also we have, I want to talk about the stars in attendance, the celebrities. We don't have pictures of all of them. We got a couple. The one, I think huge, Mark Ingram was there. He seems to really love our product and support it, and we appreciate that. And I think we have a photo of him there enjoying himself at ringside. And then also we had, I think there was like, oh man, there was, what's it, Tracy McGold, I think is his name, a basketball player. There's John Mellencamp. John Mellencamp's the first guy. I didn't know you were going to put them to a split screen like that. John Mellencamp, he was there. If you don't know who he is, I don't know how, but think about it. Jack and Diane, Small Town, Little Pink Houses. What's the one I texted you last night, Brendan? You said, oh, Hurt So Good. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Because these people I work with, they're young. They never heard of John Mellencamp. Andre Agassi was there. Somebody asked me who Andre Agassi was. What? John McEnroe, they were famous tennis players. They were there. You had a lot of people coming out to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and I'm not even mentioning all of them. I'm just proud they're coming out. I'm happy they're enjoying themselves, and we want to see more of it. There's fighters, there's sports guys. There's a guy from the Dolphins there. It's awesome to see them come out and kind of wave the flag of BKFC. Now, the other thing I want to do before we get to Lidle, since he made us wait a little bit, we're going to make him wait for a second. I don't know how long this video is. Connor Tierney, he's dropping some knowledge on BKFC UK, and I saw this last night, and I don't even care if we get through the whole thing. I just want to play some of it because I think everything he says is so true, and I kind of want Chris Lidle to comment on this when he comes on. So let's play that video first, if that's okay. Then we'll get to Chris Lights Out Lidle.
Influence, Twitter, Instagram, your Facebook page, push yourself as much as you can, training videos. Listen, it doesn't hurt to call someone out, it doesn't hurt to call someone a sausage now and then, you know what I mean? You got to jump on the comments. If you want to fight someone, you got to give it to them. At the end of the day, I fight my best mate if it's for money. It's a fight game, it's a business. You're all sole traders at the end of the day. You're all self-employed, you're all in it to make money and become a fucking superstar. You know what I mean? We all want to become a star at the end of the day. And to do that, you've got to push yourself as much as you can. You can't just sit back and go, oh, I'm not a talker, I'm not, you know what I mean, I'm a good fighter, because I've seen many of them, but you know what? Nobody talks about them, nobody cares about them, because you have 2-3 fights, and then once them fights are done, once they're over, that's it, you're out the window, nobody cares. So you've got to have a little bit of pizzazz, you've got to have a little bit of sass about you, but you also got to bring the game, you also got to fight. So you know what I mean? When you're trying, you know, when you're trying out today, and you want to be selected, you know what I mean? You want to be that ticket seller, you want to be that #1 name. So I remember when I first started doing bare knuckle, and I could only sell 10 tickets, my last fight I'd done 200 tickets, do you know what I mean? I've had to grow my portfolio, I've had to boost my brand.
He's totally boosted his portfolio. He's totally grown it.
It's not just fighting.
I mean, that's so true. I feel like everything he said. Chris Lights Out Lidle on with us. I know you guys love him in the chat. You always go wild for him. He's here hanging out, and I'd assume you could just hear what was being said or no?
Oh, yeah, I was listening to what he said, and I keep talking to my guys at the Prospects, telling them something very similar. I mean, this is the era of entertainment. You can't just be a guy who goes out there and fights. If you do, you better put on the most entertaining fights in the world anybody's ever seen. But you got to kind of do it all. One thing I disagreed with him is like, I wouldn't call a guy a sausage. Didn't he say that? Something about that? Call him a sausage? What's that mean?
He might have said, I don't know. Sometimes across the pond, they use different terms, you know? Like
I know.
Like geezer. If I call you a geezer here, you think I'm calling you old. There, our listeners from across the pond told me this. That's a compliment. Like, you're a cool geezer, man. That guy's a geezer. So anyway, we'll
maybe
learn.
a sausage is a slap in the face. I don't know.
As long as it's not slapping you with a sausage, all right? That's never fun. All right, let's see what we have here for you. Oh, before we get started, we talked about Connor, but as you remember last week, we have a guy on the show. We call him Disrespectful Brandon. He disrespected you. Yeah, I know. You're upset about it, and he impeded on your interview time. So before we get started, I'd like you to kind of threaten him, let him know what's going to happen this time if he impedes upon your interview time. Just disrespect him a little bit.
Involved here. I heard you say something about me not being ready. My thing said 21 after. I was here at 19 or 20 after. So somebody's lying to you, man. If that's you, Brandon, we got some beef.
It's Brandon.
We got some problems.
All right. This is a battle. I'm not gonna win. I'm not gonna win, no matter what excuse I come up with. I'm not gonna give an excuse. But Soscia knows the truth.
I always know.
It said 21 after, and I was on before that. What do you mean? How I'm late? I wasn't late.
I don't know. I just tell what broken Brandon says in my ear. Nice disrespect. You know that.
Soscia, I swear to God.
Let's move on to this. All right. So the other thing is, I want to talk about your trip home. You had sent me a text yesterday. You have a new record. Chris Lidle's broken a record. We've talked about this in the show many times. He likes to snake and steal. Oh, I shouldn't tell you. Okay, I will. Steal vodka bottles from the plane. I do the same. How many did you get from your trip home?
It was there and back. I got 4. You know what I mean? You showed me this little tactic, so I don't want to hear about it.
All right, and then
I started doing that too. I didn't know you guys were in on that.
Yeah, dude.
I want to build a whole at-home mini bar.
I gave Brandon one, didn't I, Brandon?
Cranston got me started.
Cranston got me started too.
And now I want to get a whole bar at home that's just.
You should see.
Yeah, it's like a little hobby.
I probably got 20 of them now.
I got a lot too. It just sits there. I don't even drink them. I just look at them like, oh, see what I can get. Yeah, the airplane bottles. You always got to take them. Look at us. That's because that's first class treatment at BKFC. We steal the airplane bottles. Other thing is, before we get going, John Mellencamp. You know who he is, right? Because Brandon didn't, and the young men on the staff weren't sure of him. I can't believe that. Can you believe that?
Man, I mean, geez, it just shows the age gap that we're dealing with here, man. I don't understand what's going on. No, I used to train his son in boxing, help work out with him. Met him many times. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he seemed really nice. He was great. He enjoyed the fights. He said it's some of the coolest stuff he's ever seen. So we're glad to have him there. And like I said, it was just tons of celebrities. I want to talk a little bit before we get into BKFC 57 tryouts. You're always over the tryouts, and I was watching a tryout the other night. It's so well put together. I enjoy it. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but he's the guy. We had a tease on Instagram about it too. He's been to a few tryouts, and he showed up late to the gym. I mean, you were talking to this guy, hanging out with him, how much it meant to him. Then he shows up late. What actually, behind the scenes, what went on with that?
EJ, man, I mean, he just never really said. I knew he's coming from a little bit of distance, maybe an hour away, and he's like, no excuses at the end. But I was like, I think there was an accident or something, but he was upset with himself for not getting there on time.
Yeah.
But, man, I mean, it is what it is. We had a lot of people coming from distance, and most of them got there. He had a problem, so.
Yeah, he kept saying, I'm a man of no excuses. But as a viewer, I wanted his excuse. To be a man of no excuses is a way just to, let's move on. I don't want to talk about it, which I appreciate. But then it was interesting because Nate said this wasn't your first kind of go-around with him, and being the tardiness was a problem. Are you worried about this with him as he goes forward? I mean, was that at all? Was that his main concern with his tardiness, or was there more to it than that?
I wasn't really concerned with that. I mean, you know, he got there. I don't know what kind of adversity I deal with, but he showed up. As long as you show up for the fight and you show up on time and you make weight, you know, train, I'm not worried about it. He seemed like he came and he worked hard. So.
All right, we got it. I just want to get some behind-the-scenes footage. If you haven't seen that yet, it's well put together. There's that. There's drama. There's happiness. There's sadness. It's all there in a bow for you. Check it out, bkfc.com. Let's get into BKFC, if I can speak. I can't even say letters. 57, sold-out show. Insane crowd. I mean, the most we've ever sold there. Broke records. It was really cool to be a part of that. I know you feel the same way, but looking from a fighting standpoint, you're sitting there, you're commentating. I always ask you, what stuck out to Chris Lidle? What was your favorite moments of the night?
You know, we had a couple guys on there who were undefeated, and I hadn't felt like had been tested quite as hard. Reber had just had a good test against Travis Thompson. It's always a tough test,
Yeah,
but I
that was
mean,
tough.
it was a draw, and then they went the extra round. And anyway, these guys both dealt with some adversity. Reber gets knocked down. Brian Duran got knocked down, and that's when you really see what people are made of. I mean, it's easy if you're winning all the time, but how do you deal with adversity? Both guys came back and won, and that meant a lot to me. So I really like seeing people get up off the canvas, especially guys who hadn't really been tested to that level, and they passed.
No, I agree. It's always, as a fan, fighter, whatever you are, it's great to see that adversity. And we got Ryan Reber coming on a little later. We're going to talk to him more about the adversity he faced in that fight, if he expected it, and just what his feelings were as it was happening, plus so much more. Excited to talk to Ryan Reber later today. But, yeah, that was a great fight, and we love to see that adversity and see them overcome it. I liked, let's see, if we talk about the feature, Jomi, he's up in his bare knuckle record. That's good to see him succeed more. You can watch his career growing. I mean, that guy's been around for a while in the bare knuckle game. Very talented. He beat another tough guy, Isaac the Honey Badger Doolittle, and we knew going in, at least I knew, Isaac's going to have to get inside for that. And it's going to be hard because Jomi's longer. He's got that wonky, wacky jab or whatever he calls it. So what were your thoughts on that fight?
I mean, I felt like Doolittle did a great job of showing some head movement. Boom, boom. He was moving head movement to get inside. But when he got inside, he wasn't able to do anything. That was the difference in the fight. It felt like, I don't know if it was Jomi really stopping him or Doolittle wasn't able to throw punches when he got in there, but he would get in and grab. Not typical of him. He usually gets in, he can unload combinations. He got in and he just really didn't unload any combinations. So, really, Jomi really didn't have a tough fight like I thought he would. I thought it was going to be a much bigger of a dog fight. But, I mean, when Doolittle got inside, he really couldn't unload any combinations.
Yeah, I thought that too. I thought we were going to see more of a dog fight. It is interesting to note that I'm sure that Doolittle would have loved to have won, of course, but he had said to me on a prior interview on another show that I was conducting that he just loves to fight. Win or lose, he didn't care. It just makes him feel alive. He loves to fight. So that's a guy, that's why we see a lot of great fights out of him most of the time. If you look at the co-main event, the guy who I think, and I want your opinion on this, my opinion, I think is one of the brightest shining stars to start shooting up in BKFC. That's Bryce Baba Yaga Henry. Defeated Robbie Problems Peralta. Bryce, such a bright future in my estimation. Where do you think he goes from here? Talk about the fight. Talk about where Bryce is going from here.
I mean, he's got to go right to a title fight. That guy, I mean, fighting Peralta, and this was the one question we had: how's he going to deal with a guy who pressures you? Everybody else he's fought, he's just looked unstoppable. Even in this fight, the only word that I used to describe it was effortless. He made it look effortless. I don't know if it was for him. I don't know if it's difficult, but he made it look easy. And that's how every one of his fights has been. I don't know who else you put him in, but I mean, Soto for the title, throw him in there because he just makes it look easy. I mean, he's got a long body, long arms, long jab. His defense is really good. His footwork's there. I mean, he's been hit a couple of times. It doesn't seem to bother him at all. I mean, nothing really seems to bother this guy, and I don't know who's going to beat him really. I mean, somebody always will. One cut, that's all it takes, but he's looking really good right now. It's going to be a tough guy to deal with for anybody.
Yeah, nothing seems to bother him. In fighting, out of fighting, he's like the calmest, happiest kid, and he's not arrogant. He just knows he's good. Like, he basically said after the fight about Soto, he's just like, yeah, I mean, I respect him, but I'm going to run through him. I mean, he just is so convinced in his abilities, and I'm becoming more and more convinced in his abilities. He's young, he's ready to go, and I think he's got such a bright future. What do you think happens in the? I hate to put you on the spot, but Tony Soto fight. If that fight happens, I mean, what do you see for that for Tony?
Tony's going to have to figure out, like I said, solve this problem, this matrix that is, Henry. I mean, where do you fight him? You can't stay outside with him. He's longer. And he's smooth, but I mean, you get inside, it doesn't. He hits you on the way in. You're gonna have to make it a rough, dirty fight, I think, if you want to beat this guy. Push him around, take away that space, and fight in your range. But it's gonna be tough, no matter who you are. You're gonna have to get in, push him backwards, land a couple hard shots. I mean, Soto's been able to figure things out every time. This is going to be his biggest test, in my opinion.
Yeah, Soto's got a lot of heart, too. We've seen him kind of will himself through things. He's a tough dude, a lot of heart. So that's a fight that I'm looking forward to if it happens. Also, we have a new champion via unanimous decision. What was it? I have written down 49-45 across the board in favor of Austin No Doubt Trout defeating Luis Palomino for the first time and claiming the vacant world welterweight title. It's a big deal. Austin, a glove boxer. We've seen it time and time again. They don't always fare the best when they come over here, but Austin Trout figuring it out the first time, figuring it out more the second time. He's a force to be dealt with, I feel like, here. And let's not discredit Luis. Like I said, Luis has been the most dominant until today, the number one pound-for-pound fighter the whole time we've been in existence since we've been rating him. You can't take anything away from Luis Palomino. But Austin Trout was the better man that night. Where did you stand this fight? What did you see?
I thought what really surprised me about this fight was how good Austin Trout was when the fight did get in close. You could tell he had done work. I mean, right there you just see great head movement, which you knew he had, but when it got in close, he kind of controlled the ties. We talked about doing a lot of Muay Thai training, a lot of MMA training. So I was like, well, that shows me the reason he's been successful is he's humbled himself and go, okay, this isn't boxing with no gloves. I got to figure out how to work this inside game, because that's most boxers, that's their kryptonite right there. But it wasn't his because they got inside. He was able to move his opponent, didn't take any damage, tied up well, turned his opponent and landed some punches of his own like you see right there. That shows where he was able to go work on what I always tell people, the best thing about fighting, you got to work on your weaknesses. That would have been considered a weakness. He turned it into something not necessarily a strength, but not a weakness. And then you can go back to your strength. So that's what he did. He continued to fight at his strength, at range, being slick, being evasive, landing shots. And when it got in tight, he didn't lose much. He nullified the situation, stalemated it, or even did a little better than I thought sometimes. So it just really showed me how he was able to not humble himself is the right word, I guess, but yeah, kind of humble himself and go train other forms of martial arts and just be a complete fighter.
Yeah, Austin, no doubt, Trout, too. One of the things I see is he's not just here. Well, obviously, he's champion now for the quick payday or anything. He seems to really enjoy the sport and want to grow with the sport, which you can't always say that. Some people, it's just business. They're in and out. He seems to really enjoy the sport, want to grow with it. And it's interesting to note that he's the first world champion glove boxer to lay claim to a BKFC world title. So that's history, a historic stat there. Congratulations to Austin, no doubt, Trout. Now, before we get out of here, Chris Lights Out Lidle, I want to talk to you about tryouts, where we're rolling into, what your schedule's looking like. You're staying on the road. You're very busy. So let's talk about that. Give me the list. What's the next tryout spot you're hitting?
Next tryout, we are going to Tampa, Florida. Yes, on the 23rd. I believe it's 23rd, maybe 24th. I think it's the 24th.
Hopefully Chris Lidle shows up there. I think we have a graphic probably for it. Hopefully he shows up.
It's the 24th now, yeah. 24th, but I leave on the 23rd.
There you go.
The 23rd was involved somewhere. But, I mean, it's in Tampa. It's at Jackson Wink and Smith Brothers Gym. It's going to be great. We have a great history of fighting in Tampa. I love it down there. So we're going to put on a prospect series down there hopefully soon. So we want some fighters. Come on out.
I love it.
After that, in March, I think March 9th, and we're going to be in Denver, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we're all over the place right now. We got to get new fighters. We got to get great fighters. We got to get big people who could come out here and become superstars. That's what we're looking for. Who's the next superstar? So, just like Tierney was saying right there, it's not just about X's and O's as far as punches and head movement. It's about you have to be entertaining, man. People have to want to watch you fight. You can be the best fighter in the world, but if 8 people watch you, who cares? We need to have 8 million people, 8,000.
100%.
So the more people who want to watch you, the better it is.
Chris Lights Out Lidle, they just had another one up Colorado, which I believe was March 9th, the tryouts for Colorado, which you were just talking about. BKFC.com/tryouts. If you want to get involved, you can fill out the sheet. We'll get in touch with you to let you know, but do that now. Don't forget, BKFC.com/tryouts. This is your ticket to possibly get your face, get your branding, get your name, get some money. This is where it all starts. It starts here with BKFC tryouts, then to prospects, and then to the numbered shows. And we're glad we have a combat sports vet like you that understands bare knuckle fighting, because not everyone does, to go around the country and show this new talent and find this new talent. So thank you for that, Chris Lights Out Lidle. I'm going to let you go. We're going to have to get you a microphone or something. We'll have to send you. I'll see if we have it in the budget, because if you're coming on here all the time, people seem to love you. We like you. We'll have to get you a mic so you sound nice and clear. What do you think?
Sounds good. Sounds good. I like it.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you. Thank you. Go drink your stolen vodka, and we'll talk to you soon.
My man. All right.
Oh, he my man me on the way out. Oh, my gosh. You never know what that means. Chris Lights Out Lidle, you all seem to love him in the chat. I see Crystal Pittman's in the chat. She said, and we coming with Shift. Yes, Shift. Let's see. A lot of people. The Trout was too slick, too good. People totally giving Trout his flowers here. We're going to get ready for Royal Ryan Reber. Is Reber here already? Okay, good. I didn't think so. Royal Ryan Reber, we're going to get ready for that in a minute. Got a lot to talk to him about. We talked about it briefly with Lidle. I mean, that guy was facing some hardship in that fight, getting knocked down. 4th round, I think it was. He came alive. So we're going to talk to him more about that. We have some behind-the-scenes footage coming up in a couple minutes. And we also have some other stuff to get to, including somewhere BKFC appeared last night that was pretty cool. We'll get to that briefly in a couple minutes. But first, Royal Ryan Reber on the way. It looks like you're telling me he's ready. He's in the virtual green room, so let's bring him in. Hey, what's up? There he is.
My man.
Oh, everybody's my man in me today. This is nervy.
My man. Fucking man.
You, Lidle, everybody, man. That makes me nervous when that happens. I like to see you, though. It's good to talk to you. Royal Ryan Reber on here with us after a big win. We're going to get to all that, Ryan. But before we do, I want to talk quickly about what happened last time you were supposed to be on. Now, if you don't remember last time you were supposed to be on, it's not your – look, it's none of your fault. None of your fault. I don't want to blame you. We have a guy on the show here. We call him Disrespectful Brandon because he disrespects a lot of the guests. He fails. He was failure. He's breaking things. Then he was successful for 7 days. He's been successful. You can see it behind him. But now he disrespects a lot of people. So before we get started, he was the reason, by the way, you missed your last interview. It was his fault. So let's bring.
What? What are you talking about?
Let's bring him on. I want you to put the camera on Disrespectful Brandon. And could you please, Ryan, before we get started, just to make sure he doesn't disrespect you anymore, or anybody on the roster, and he just disrespects people. You need to lay into him real quick and let him know he's not going to disrespect you. Could you please do that for me?
Listen, man, not today. Today is not the day, all right? My face hurts, my head hurts, my heart don't hurt, but today isn't the day, man.
Hear that? So, Brandon, are you going to disrespect him? Relax in there. Jeez. He's not going to talk. He won't talk. He hates this. All right, thanks for doing that, Reber. We enjoy having you on the show. Last time it didn't work out. It may or may not have been broken Brandon, Disrespectful Brandon's fault. But we know what happened, and we're glad to have you on this time. And I remember talking to you last time. We talked off the air, and you were so sure this was your time in fighting. And you hear this from fighters. You hear it a lot, dime a dozen kind of thing. But I could just feel it in your voice. I could feel it when I was talking to you. You're like, I've been waiting for this. I've manifested it. I prayed about it. Whatever you've done, everything. And you're like, this is my time, and people are going to see it. You said that last fight with Travis, who's a tough guy. Like, that was a tough fight, I'm sure. Now, you were introduced, as Lidle said, to adversity in this fight. But why do you think that? Why do you think this is your time? What are you feeling? Kind of project that to us.
I mean, as we've seen it, man, it just, everything is coming together for me, man. I mean, yeah, that was, another tough win, but I almost would rather if it gone the way that it has gone instead of just taking him out with one hit like Keith did, and those were big shoes to fill. You know what I mean? And, not to mention Dave being in the back, like, you guys make sure you fight your asses off. And I literally fought my ass off. Oh, you know what I mean? The canvas. So,
Dude.
And honestly, Brian, man, it's unfortunately my life, man, and the way that things are, man. I've from day one had to face so much adversity, and not only self decisions, but decisions that, you just had to, take as they were handed, and I didn't expect the fight to go this way, but it was the way it had to go, man. And it showed a lot, man. It showed a lot about me, about, who I am. And, the most people would have crumbled, man, so.
Yeah, it was a great fight.
Like it showed a lot, man.
It sure did. And that's why I wanted to have you on here. I thought that you needed to talk about that. I mean, look at it. What was it? You went down first round, and then I think, and I saw this online, people talking, when I just kind of took a totality of it, a lot of people were like, he was all but defeated. He looked like a couple different times, the first couple rounds. And then next thing you know, the 4th round, the tide just turns. What are your thoughts on that? Were you surprised that you were going down the first round? Did you expect to at least fall once? Like, where were you at? Where's your mind going?
No, I mean, I didn't expect to go to the canvas at all, man. And I mean, I took the knee because, them punches to the temple, geez Louise, man. I mean, like, people can try to talk about the sport and they can try to prepare it for it the best way that you can, but it's the biggest thing I say before I get in there to Chris Lidle and Sean Wheelack is I'm going to adjust. I'm going to adjust. You know what I'm saying? No matter what is given to me in that squared circle, I will adjust. And just like I said in one of my interviews before, man, I'm going to be a hard motherfucker to beat, man. I'm going to be a hard motherfucker to stop. And I proved that. You know what I mean? And, you know, Derek Perez, I don't, that dude has got a granite chin. I mean, the first punch I hit him with was straight on the button, and he walked right through it and kept it coming. And I mean, that kind of, I didn't work a whole lot of clinch, especially with a southpaw. And I mean, it showed, obviously, you know what I mean? So, you know, I had to adjust in there, and it just, you know, I'm used to it, man, you know, but I hate giving my coaches the heart attack like that too, man, because you know, obviously me and coach went viral for that last fourth round when he dug into my ass over it. But I mean, that's been us in sparring. That's been us in, you know, other fights. And, you know, that's just, it's unfortunately how it goes for me, man. And I'm like, man, I promise y'all, man, I won't do it to y'all no more. But shit, man, you know, shit happens, man.
Yeah. Well, no, that's, hey, go viral any way you can. We're actually going to show that clip, I think, a little later on in the show. Yeah, he was tearing into you, man. He was trying to motivate you. At the time, you're fighting, you're in a war there, and he's yelling at you. You say that happens in sparring. Some people are affected differently. Does something like that light the fire under your ass? Do you like that?
Oh, hell yeah, man. I mean, he did it with me in the Travis fight, you know what I mean? When I had to go 6 rounds, I didn't want to go 6 rounds. I was like, fuck. And he just pointed at me and said, you know what to do. You know what to do. And I was like, yeah. All right. Yeah, I know what I got to do, man. And I just, you know, and once again, it literally like, that's what you need in your corner. And I mean, like the way that my dad was with me was tough love all the time, man, all the time. So I didn't take any criticism. I didn't take it to heart, man. I just went out there and did what I did, man. And I thought about Mr. Feldman and what he said. And he pulled me to the side after and was like, you know, the way that you handled adversity tonight, man, was just excellent. And you know, that's what he wants, man. This, you know, he wanted us to go out there and fucking perform. I feel like I was on that Fubo TV for a reason.
That's right.
Well, that was the reason. And everything in my life universally happens for a reason, because I pay attention to the energy, man. And, you know, I pay attention to the numerology, and, you know, numbers and energy don't lie, man. And, you know, I'm with a very good team of people, and, you know, they truly and honestly got my back, man. And I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful for All In. They've made this fight easy for me. They've made training easy for me. They made,
Reber.
you know,
Reber.
a lot of things easy for me, man.
Reber, I know they did. Where are you going? I feel like it's MTV Cribs. You have to go to the bathroom?
I had to go into the garage, man, because my dogs were beating each
Oh,
other.
I was excited. I thought you were going to like show us all the MTV Cribs, what you got going on around there, man. You got your jacuzzi, all that stuff. Well, I mean, look, it's great to have you on here to see what you fought through, to see where you're at now, and see where you're going next. What is next for you? I mean, where are you headed next? That's one of my main questions for you. What are you looking for?
I mean, I feel like I've earned the title shot, man. And, you know, I took a calculated risk with Perez. I just wanted to fight, man. And, you know, I held true to what I said to Nate and to Dave, man. And they got me onto a big card in Miami. And I did what I was supposed to do, man. So hopefully we could get on this Knuckle Mania card in LA, man. That would be that would be a banger, man. You know, that's if I could fight Keith on that Knuckle Mania card, I mean, it'd be literally a dream come true, man. I mean, I'm living my dreams, you know?
Good. We like that. Hey, you keep mentioning Dave Feldman. I'm pretty sure it was you. A lot happens throughout the night, but I was sitting by Dave, and I think it was after your fight. You came over, you yelled something to him. You said something to Dave. Do you remember that? You did. You said so. I think it was adrenaline. I think you showed me one of the title or something. I was wondering what you said. I think that's what it was.
So make sure Dave's paying attention and he's watching.
Yeah, right. Look over here, damn it.
Every fight, man, I'm like, where's Dave? Where's Dave?
You're a good businessman.
I just make sure that we lock eyes, man. We see each other, man.
Hey, I got another question for you. Outside of fighting, I know what you did to celebrate. You were at that BKFC after party that I was talking about earlier, and they came out. You were getting bottle service, popping, and they were coming out with the signs, and it said something like, "Congrats, you didn't lose." Was that like an inside joke?
Yeah, bro, because like that was Julian's boy, man. He thought he was fucking funny because we're at his. Yeah, he had a little get together on Wednesday that we kind of popped into, and it was the first time I met him. He just kept saying to me, "You better not lose."
Is that right? Okay.
I said, "Bro," I said, "We don't lose, man." I said, "I ain't losing." I'm gonna put money on you, man. And unfortunately, he couldn't put money on me because the betting they let it happen. But yeah, man.
I saw the sign. You didn't. Congrats, you didn't lose. I'm like, what's that all about? But you're having a good time there. Well deserved. You earned it. And then you mentioned Julian Lane's name. Is he there with you now still? I mean, I know you've been hanging out with Julian.
But he's bopping around somewhere.
He's bopping around. Well, it's good that you're hanging out with a guy like Julian Lane, another guy tough as nails. That if you guys can kind of make it happen together and take tips from each other, that's only going to help you. Look, Royal. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you go. You're the guest. You go.
And that's what it is, man. You show me your 5 friends, and I'll show you your future, bro. So I surround myself. Dave Mundell also lives, an hour away from me. I'm on the game with him every single night. You know what I mean? We talk about things, and I surround myself with winners, with like-minded people that want to be successful, man. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of my success, man, is who I surround myself with. J.R. Ridge, you know what I mean? Like, he's been in my camp a lot, man. He just fought for a world title. Like, nobody I got around me is a slouch. I got, undefeated fighters around me. I got up-and-coming guys around me. You know what I mean? Like I said, my management, Vic, we got all those guys with us, you know what I mean? So I could go take a trip down to Miami at any point in time and work with all those guys. And, look, man, I got a lot of shit to work on. You guys haven't even seen 100% Royal Reber yet, man. It's been a fucking, it's always something with my ass, whether it's I'm getting headbutted or, I got crazy ass Travis tracking me down and I got to be on my butt. And let me tell you something about Perez, man. That is a Travis 2.0.
Really?
Just not as skillful in the stand-up. Like, if Travis was fucking 5'10", he'd be a problem. You know what I mean?
Two tough guys, man. Two really tough guys. Two guys that you've been in there with and you've proven yourself. You were introduced to adversity, as Lidle said, as I said, as you're saying, and look where you're at now. So congratulations. We can't wait to see what comes next for you, man. Thanks for making the time. Royal Ryan Reber, I'm glad we could get you on. You've deserved this for a while, so thank you for coming on the Bare Knuckle Show.
Hey, thank you for having me, my man.
Can you at least say good job to Brandon before you go? Because he wasn't disrespectful for you for this one.
Listen, Brandon, I love you, bro. All right. These guys, they just want to fuck with you.
Well, we appreciate you, Royal Ryan Reber. Thank you for coming on, my friend.
Hey, thank you, man. Remember, kids, dreams come true. Work hard. Let's go.
That's it. Boom. All right, there he goes, Royal Ryan Reber. Thank you for that. I'm excited to see where his career is going to head next. I know we all are. Again, this is that upward mobility we're trying to see with a lot of the younger guys in the promotion. So it's awesome. Thank you for being a good sport, disrespectful Brandon. I appreciate you. He just gave me the finger, I think. All right, so, he thumbs up me. Okay, I don't know what it was. We have some other stuff to get to because we were running behind, because that's what happens. We have great people to talk to. I wanted to talk about the sold-out Hollywood that we just did. We kind of brought that up earlier. I think there's an amazing picture of that. Look at that. Look at that. What a happening. I mean, this is gigantic. You're 2 seconds from Miami. It's the hottest ticket in town. Over 6,000 people. The highest combat sports attendance ever. A record ticket sale money-wise for the venue. I think that's pretty cool to talk about. Another cool thing to talk about that night was the major announcement. David Feldman was on there talking about Knucklemania 4. Everyone knows, when's Knucklemania coming? Where's it going to be? Well, here it is. If you haven't heard, Knucklemania 4, it's coming to Los Angeles, the city of angels. It's going to be awesome. Of course, April 27th. I don't know what the big fights are going to be on there, but I've heard Dave in his office and the mad scientists are at work. They're getting ready. I think this is going to be the biggest show we've ever done, and it should be as we head into Los Angeles. Big city of dreams, right? We'll see what happens. That's going to be awesome. The other thing I want to look at before we get out of here, got a couple odds and ends just to clean up. I want to show you some of that behind-the-scenes footage. I'm a nerd for this stuff. It seems like you like it too when I read the chat. I want to show first Bryce Henry after his victory. Like I said, that guy's on the climb. He's headed up. This is what his ring exit looked like. You don't always get to see this stuff.
Easy work, man. Always easy work. Let the Feldman, Dave Feldman, hear you. He'll shoot you with this. You looked at me like, ooh, that hurt.
There's the incomparable custom auto of bare knuckle Ryan Perez next to him. I just picked up, not to take it away from Bryce, but I did hear myself, and all I heard was say, let the president of BKFC shoot you. I don't know if you guys heard that in that clip. That's because we shoot off the bare knuckle bazooka and he was shooting it. They didn't get the last part. Shoot you with a t-shirt gun, so don't be alarmed. But we had Bryce Henry that is ring exit. We like to see these things. Congrats to Bryce again. Can't wait to see what he does next. I mean, it could be for a title. We'll see. And then Austin No Doubt Trout, we have his ring exit for you as well.
Man, I just can't wait to hug my belt for real. Gorillas, baby. I'm gonna do some weird shit with this thing. No cameras allowed. When I really get along with my baby. Ooh. Hey, I can't wait to get back. I ain't got to heal much at all, so let's get right back to it.
There you go. He's don't have him much at all. I mean, they were talking the press conference that who knows if it'll happen about a rematch. He said he would grant him one in Las Cruces. He thought that'd be cool. But again, we'll wait to see what's going to happen next for Austin Trout. We're excited for it. Again, credit to the organization, major name coming over here and winning a title, making history. So we appreciate that. And then the other thing I want to look at is we had the roving cameras around. We talked about some celebrities that are there. We got a couple celebrities' takes on what they were experiencing, what they were doing. I think we have them available. I'm not sure which one we're going to go to first. I'm going to guess Mark Ingram.
What's up, guys?
Oh, way off.
Slim Kill on the basketball court, sitting here at BKFC. This is insane. I love the environment. I'm glad I got to witness this. Some great creative fighters in there, and I can't wait to see the next fight. My man Austin Trout is coming up. I've seen him in the boxing ring, but I haven't seen him in bare knuckles fighting. This should be good.
Well, there he is, Tracy McGold. I think that was on the Orlando.
Tracy who?
Tracy McGold. Isn't that his name? What's his name?
McGrady.
I said McGrady, and somebody corrected me in the chat. I thought I was wrong. I should have stayed with it. I said McGrady earlier. Go back and. That's what someone said in the chat. Tracy.
Looks like, why did your camera go down?
Probably because it's tired of seeing me. There. Who's that guy?
That's the other camera.
Tracy. I don't know. Honestly, I don't watch basketball really anymore, but I know he was a force to be reckoned with. I know he played for Orlando. But I was corrected. You can look earlier. I believe I said Tracy McGrady earlier, and the guy got corrected. So I thought I was wrong because my sports knowledge.
We'll play this one while we're.
And then, this is Mark Ingram here.
Mark Ingram here, checking out the bare knuckle fights, holding it down, man. Best sport in the business. Let's get it.
I like that. John Mellencamp didn't want to be interviewed. He said he doesn't do that. He just sings, so that was cool.
He didn't like you.
No, he loved me, dude. I loved him. What a head of hair on that guy. Little pink houses. So they were all there having a good time. I know behind Tracy was Jean-Pierre Paul. Wherever. I'm not an NFL guy, but I know that guy's story. He got his fingers blown off with fireworks, and he still played in the NFL somehow, from what I understand, which is absolutely amazing to me. He was telling me privately how much of a good time he was having. So good stuff. We like it. We love when they come out and they check out what we have to offer. The other thing, the cameras roaming around, and there was just chaos in the crowd. It was like, this could be a reality show, the BKFC reality show. I think it was Ben Rothwell was somehow involved, Mike Perry, everybody. Dave Mandel is trying to go crazy, get a fight that he wants. You got Lorenzo screaming and yelling. So I don't even know what this is, but it entertained me. It's like a reality show. Check this out. Lorenzo's pumped. Dave Mandel's trying to get a fight. I think he's live on social media.
Bring up shit from 10 years ago. I own you, dog. This is your class or no? Or do you need me to tell you anybody else?
I'm number one in the world. Oh shit! I'm number one in the world. It happened. It happened tonight.
You'd be lucky if you had to walk out of that
beat anybody that signed me to fight in that ring.
You ain't beating me, dog, and you know, which is why you won't accept the fight.
Right, you versus Julian Lane was boring as fuck.
Bro,
Y'all didn't even
I carried Julian. I allowed him to continue.
Tell Dave to make the fight. I'm number one in the world.
Pussy.
Guess who's number two?
Platinum pussy.
You. It's not you, you fucking bitch.
You number two. You sitting behind me.
Wow. Wow. Exclamation point there by Perry at the end. All Lorenzo's cared about is being number one in the world, which I understand that. He was very excited. Just pure chaos. If you come to a bare knuckle show, and you should, BKFC.com, grab your tickets. It's cool because the fighters are very accessible, and you would have seen that live as well as the fights. It's a gigantic show, always something going on.
Put those guys near each other.
I don't know, man, but whoever did, keep doing it because it was awesome. Ben Rothwell was in the mix too, but he wasn't on camera. Him and Perry, you saw that on Instagram. They were like, they could have like a buddies reality show. It was just an insane night, to say the least. You had a lot. There it is. There it is.
Yo, what's up? It's Platinum Mike Perry. It's Big Ben Rothwell. And we're here at BKFC 57.
It's like they rehearsed it. I love it. Dude, I would watch that 24/7 if that was a reality show, those two. Yeah, Keith Rockstar Richardson there. You had everybody there. I saw Britton Hart there. I'm going to forget people. I don't want to keep going, but there were a lot of fighters there. Very excited to be there. The next thing I want to get to is we don't always spotlight this, and we have such a great photography team. Phil Lambert, Nick Vespi, and again, I don't want to forget anybody else if I'm leaving anybody out, but I'm talking about still photography. I'm going to call this Vespi Selects. I asked him to send in some really cool photos. I think photos speak sometimes more than video, so I don't even know what he sent in yet, but these are Vespi Selects from Nick Vespi. Let's see what they are. Oh, did he really send that in? Oh, for the Forged Irish Stout. That's why, because it's a big deal that we have Forged Irish Stout. Look at this. These are great shots, man. You can see the impact. Who's that? That's Leo and Tomahawk. Man, look at that, right on the chin. Vespi Selects. I love seeing this. Phil Lambert does a great job as well when he photographs for us. Because, I mean, you see this, and it's amazing when you're seeing it on film. It's incredible. But when they freeze frame it, look at that.
What a ridiculous claim that photos are better than video.
Not better. It's a different way of. I probably said better. I don't mean
what
that.
An absurd claim.
It's a different. I know why you're saying that, but it's a different way of looking at things.
You got one frame versus thousands of frames.
I know, but you can just watch the moment of impact.
You can pause the video.
Yeah, but who wants to do that? Video's great. I know that's your bread is buttered. Video's amazing. We always feature videos. Look, that's a great shot. Wow. Vespi Selects, there they are. Thank you very much. Oh, there's Trout. Oh, wow. Look at it. Sweat coming off.
Vespi Selects.
And we'll have Lambert images. We'll come up with a cool thing for him as well. These are great. Thank you for that. We appreciate it. And a couple more things I want to get into. This is pretty big. Last night, I don't watch Jeopardy. I'm not smart enough to watch. I get very frustrated when I watch Jeopardy. I never get anything right. But this was sent in. Apparently, we were featured on Jeopardy last night. I think it's pretty cool. Can we show this? I don't even know.
A sanctioned and medically supervised promotion founded in 2018 presents this style of boxing.
Oh, I know,
John L.
Alex.
Sullivan would be proud. Jesse.
What is bare knuckle?
We should get that guy. We should get that guy tickets to the next show. He might not even be a bare knuckle fan, but he knew. So I dig that. That was quick too. He knew. Speaking of Jeopardy, I think that means like we have definitely made it when we're on Jeopardy. But that got me thinking, Evan, I don't know if you've ever seen this. Brandon, I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know if you've seen this at home. Alex Trebek, the iconic host of Jeopardy, used to have to record these voiceovers. And he was drunk while doing it. So it led to this, what I think is hilarious. Check this out. This is great.
So keep watching Jeopardy 24 hours a day and call this number. Yeah, dumb son of a bitch. You don't watch it 24 hours a day. There's a daily cash prize of $1,000 and fuck no
Alex.
shit. Call now and play Phone Jeopardy. She drank the poison that Captain Hook intended for Peter Pan.
Tinkerbell!
Fuck 'em.
Dude, Alex, you just don't expect that out of Alex Trebek. I'm so glad we were able to unearth that. But yeah, that's him getting ready for Jeopardy. So that made me think about it when we were featured last night. Thank you to Jeopardy. I know you're watching. You'd probably give me a copyright strike for that. I appreciate it. We all do. We think it's cool. We think that really kind of, put some wind in our sails. We like that. Mick Terrell is the other guy I want to talk about. Our champ. Mick. Enjoying, we have a graphic of this, Forged Irish Stout. He said it was very smooth. He enjoyed it. He was enjoying it while watching the fights the other night. And I bring that up because we did something for the first time ever with Forged Irish Stout. We had a watch party. They did it in Philadelphia. And from what I hear, it was an amazing time, absolutely packed. And everybody just had a lot of fun. Do we have a video to show? Can we show that yet or no? I don't know if we're allowed. Do we have one? There it is. Yeah, you probably can't use the music, unfortunately. That's such a pain in the ass. But you can see everybody out having a good... Well, that guy's got no shirt on. You can see everybody there having a good time, enjoying the fights. And if you ever see one of these watch parties come to your town, I mean, you know what to expect now. It's going to be great. They got the punch machine out there. I think we're going to have Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship titles out there. They have a DJ going. You see the UFC title? That was Connor's UFC title. You can see all this stuff. The guy with the shirt, without the shirt, I don't think he travels with us, but maybe he'll be there too. Just we'll keep you updated on the watch party, so when it comes to your city, your town, you can make it out there too with Forged Irish Stout. I think that's something cool, a new layer, something we've never done before. So hopefully that expands. We like that. And speaking of, I don't know if you saw this, but the partnership with Forged Irish Stout, Conor McGregor, I mean, we knew he was a fan. He showed up anyway. Then we got the partnership, so we know he likes what we're doing. But then he was watching the event, and if you didn't see it, this was his commentary.
Backhand Louis Hook, live from Miami, brought to you by Forged Irish Stout, yeah? Oh my God, what a show! Bare Knuckle Fighting, Forged Irish Stout.
There you go. What a show, he says. Bare Knuckle Fighting. He loves it. He's having a great time. Maybe he's had drinking some of his own Forged Irish Stout, but you can see that if you want to see it again. I believe we have it on our Instagram. I mean, do we have the knockouts of the night pulled up? We'll go through those two before we get out of here, because I think we missed them earlier. So let's go through the knockouts of the night. The first one, I mean, let's see. I don't know what you guys are going to put. Just put the first one up, then we'll talk about it. I just want to see it again because it was awesome. Oh, here we go.
Tried to elevate Perdomo.
Watch this.
By referee Dan
That's what we just saw.
Perdomo landed a good shot. And that's what made his opponent try and grab him like that.
Big hooks from both men. Perdomo coming forward.
There you go.
Face
boom.
Goes Bobby Briggs, taking the kick from Dan Miragliotta.
The way Briggs fell, I'm surprised if they let this fight go on.
There you go. That was first knockout of the night. That's off of Conor McGregor's TV. That's the actual broadcast version of it. And then also we have the second knockout of the night from Justin Sanchez. Let's take a look at that one. They're pulling it up right now. No, I don't know if that's a mistake though. I don't know if that's a mistake. What's the workflow like back there? Is that hard to get this thing up, Evan? What's your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, if it's not planned, you got to go scrub to the
it's
broadcast.
It's planned.
Really?
Yeah, it's on the rundown.
Is it on the rundown?
It's just at a different time.
Well, we got into doing stuff with Reber and
that's
Trout,
fine. That's why
which
I'm
was
not
kind of
mad.
on the fly.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
lost my place for
That's fine, dude. We pivoted.
now I'm scrolling through.
As you're looking for this, the next thing I'm going to call for, because you just reminded me that we didn't show, was Reber's corner screaming at him because he talked about that, and then we'll get ready to get out of here.
I told you didn't say
I thought you said that in my ear, but then it passed by, and I didn't want to drag it backwards, giving you some behind the curtain stuff here. How it goes. So we'll get to that, and we're also going to talk briefly about the big meeting. You know, the big meeting that happened, and what I know about it, which isn't much. Very tight-lipped. We'll get to that. Man, I am swimming upstream. Maybe we just don't show the second knockout. They can find it on Instagram. Is that what we're going to do here?
He's scrubbing.
He is scrambling. I was trying.
The Reber clip is on the Full Send Instagram. If you want to look that
it's up there?
Yeah.
All right. So
shoot over there. Talk for 20 seconds.
All right, I'll keep talking. I could sing some John Mellencamp hits for you too.
The Dana meeting. How about that?
Yeah, let's talk about that. The Dana meeting. Thank you for getting me on track with that. Dana, Dave Feldman, great meeting. It was huge. A lot of people came out of nowhere. I feel like it was all over social media. It was being reported by MMA media, bare knuckle media, and everyone's like, "What is this? What's going on here?" And I haven't had much time to talk to Dave because he's been running around, so I haven't had much private time to talk to him. I don't know much about the meeting. It just seemed to go well. You saw the picture. I mean, it just seemed to go well. That's all I know. What could it mean for the organization? Could it mean, and I'm completely making this up, I don't know. Is it a talent exchange of some sort? Is it just getting to know each other? Is it somehow them helping us out? I want to know too. People were saying, are they going to buy BKFC? I don't know these answers either, and I'm looking forward to finding them. I'm on ice waiting to hear this too, but I just know from what I hear in the office, it was a very good meeting that can lead to better things. So we'll go with that until I find out more next week, and I can blast that out to you. And now we have it up. This is the knockout of the night. This is the second one.
Barola comes in, changes levels for the body shots. I have to angle out and then throw hooks in return. Fast start up from scratch. Big shot, and down goes Landon Williams. He's in the black trunks, taking the count from Andrew Glenn. Justin Barola in the red trunks.
Shaking his head around. I don't think he's getting up,
He
Sean.
might be done quickly. Count of 10, and the winning lightning strike.
There you go. Justin Sanchez, knockout of the night, the second one. Great night of fights. Great night
It's
of
kind of
fights.
weird. He was just sitting there, and then
it just popped.
And then,
yeah.
then he stood up as soon as the count was done. I guess he just didn't want to.
Maybe
want to keep going.
Maybe he got his wits. Oh man, I don't know if I'd want to keep going, but I guess you're paid to keep going. You keep going. That's rough. Yeah. The replay especially. Well, thank you for queuing that up. The other thing I want to get at before we get out of here, just because he mentioned it in the interview, and I want to say, You were a success at that moment. You said in my ear you had it ready, but the time had already passed. So I just want to show, if you didn't know what Ryan Reber was talking about, they were giving it to him in the corner. I mean, they were yelling at him. That's right here.
I was queuing up the KO of the night, and you're like, oh, then let's talk about this.
I did tell you it was coming next.
Yeah, I know, but it's one.
Evan, how should I feel about this? I mean, I feel like I'm not.
You're setting me up for failure.
I'm not trying to.
The problem is he can't digest information that fast. His brain doesn't work on the same level as ours.
My brain just goes fast. I have ADD, I think. I don't know. I'm all over the board. But yeah, I do bark a lot at him. I'm sorry, Brandon.
Keep scrolling.
Yeah, so basically they were screaming.
There you go.
Thank you. Here we go. Screaming and yelling. Check it out.
What you, boy? Open your mouth. You better open up your head. You understand that? We ain't down here for nothing. If you're not going to listen to me, I don't need to get up here on this apron.
Hey, I like that coach.
He's great. Hey, it worked. It worked, man. I tell you, some days before, if I'm having a rough day before I come on the show, disrespectful Brandon or the Lord Zentar, they'll sit me down on a stool and they scream at me like that to get myself motivated for the show. We'll have to tape that one day. That'll be great.
Yeah.
Can you believe Evan would actually scream? I don't know. I don't know, man. All right. Well, look, I think that's all we have for today. I think we've covered a lot of stuff. I do know we have a great upcoming schedule. If we don't have that ready, I don't want to put you on the spot, Brandon. You can always find that on the app or at bkfc.com, and I'd encourage you to go there. Great news stories up there on the app and at bkfc.com. You can see the whole schedule. I know bkfc.com for tickets. If you're in the Manassas, there we go. If you're in the Manassas, Virginia area, which is very close to Washington, D.C., fight scheduled on February 16th. Make sure you get your tickets for that as they may become scarce. So get involved, get in there, and get your fight. Manassas, Virginia. There you go. You guys, look, you can see the schedule. These guys are fools. We'll be in Canada, Edmonton, March 2nd. Oh, this is bkfc.com. Get your tickets, make sure you're streaming. That's going to be major, major stuff. Bulgaria is always a huge show, too. March 22nd, we'll be there. I can't wait to see. I knew they drew a lot. And this was recently announced. I think it was last week we announced this. March 29th, back in Albuquerque, Fight Town. So you better get those tickets quick, too, because that could sell out. So make sure you're in it, and let's go. R.I.P. Apollo. We love you. I'm out. I'm going to go eat some of Evan's eggs. Until next week. Get bucked up and knuckle up. We love you. Thanks for watching.
Friday, February 16th, the world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship presents the BKFC Prospect Series. In the main event, BKFC vet Stanislav Groshu knuckles up with a warrior fiending for his next knockout. Brandon the Shredder Shavers, plus many more explosive bare knuckle fights. Be a part of the excitement. Don't miss history unfold. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.